Trustee Williams.
Present.
Trustee Brooks.
Present.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Present.
Trustee Franklin.
Present.
Trustee Bolden.
Present.
Open. Trustee McMullen. Mayor Rudez.
Here.
Okay, noting for the record, also present at this meeting is Village Manager Ernestine Beck-Fulgham, Village Attorney Joe Miller, Village Treasurer Jim Ellis.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I don't know
that. Bill Haley. Is anybody else present?
And I haven't had them since.
Present. Present.
Okay.
Okay. Before we get started, I'd like to read our disclaimer. Pursuant to Governor Pritzker's Executive Order 2020-07 COVID-19, Executive Order number 5, which suspends the requirement of the Illinois Open Meetings Act, requiring in-person attendance by members of a public body during the duration of the gubernatorial disaster proclamation. The members of the village board will not be physically present for the designated board meeting, but will instead be participating in the meeting through audio access using a virtual meeting platform. Public comments may be submitted in advance to the meeting to Village Clerk D. Jones at djones@university-park-il.com or by text message to 708-473-6201. All comments must be received by 5 p.m. the day before the meeting. In order to give proper consideration to all items on this agenda, the mayor will limit participants in the debate and will close off protracted, repetitive, irrelevant, or abusive remarks. Pledge of Allegiance, Madam Clerk.
Ready. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which
it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
All right. General public comments, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. We received only one. It's from Donna Dilworth. It was received on Monday, September 21st at 4:45 p.m. And she states, hello, it's my public comment. As residents, we deserve respect and courtesy from all elected, appointed, and village employees. When residents call or email village employees, we should receive a response back. Residents should not have to continue calling or emailing or nagging for a simple reply back to their message. It is called common courtesy. As for myself, I've called and left messages on Village Manager Beck-Fulgham's phone and never received a response back. Just last week, I sent an email to Claudia Webb in regards to information about the Finance Committee meeting documents that she sent out to every member except me. And I received no email response back. So I decided to call on Monday to first see if Ms. Webb received my emails, for her to forward the 2 documents that was sent to everyone else, and inquire about why out of 3 Finance Committee meetings, I was the only member excluded 2 out of the 3 times from receiving the meeting information. Ms. Webb response was yes, I saw your email, and in a dismissive manner stated she had nothing to do with sending out the meeting agenda, documents, and Zoom meeting ID and passwords. Now, there was no need for her to be dismissive, and she has been the one who sends out the information these past 3 meetings. As I spoke professionally with respect, as residents, we expect each village employee to act professionally and be respectful, regardless of each of you are there to support the residents with their concerns, questions, and provide the service that you are getting paid to do. And I am still waiting on a call back from Village Manager Beck Fulgham. Respectfully, Donna Dilworth.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Anybody have any responses? No responses? Action items, F1, unfinished business, there are none.
Mr. Mayor, before we get to that, I would like a motion to table the minutes. I discovered in putting my packet together this evening, I had omitted them from the agenda.
Okay, is there a motion to table the minutes?
So moved, Chair.
Wow, okay. Moved by Trustee Williams, second by Trustee Brooks and Trustee McMullen.
I'll take the first one you called.
Roll call, Madam Trustee Williams.
Trustee Williams.
Votes aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Votes aye.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Votes aye.
Trustee Bolden. Trustee Franklin.
Votes aye.
Trustee Bolden.
Votes aye.
Trustee McMullen.
Votes aye.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye.
Is Neva still on?
Yes, I am.
Because Clerk G is froze. Do you see that?
Oh, I am?
No, she's not frozen on me. She's not frozen on this end, but your connection is poor, Trustee Bolden.
Okay.
Yep, she's coming through perfectly. Thank you.
Okay. All right, sorry.
Okay, outside of me, now we're going to item F2, consent agenda. Attorney Miller, there are 3 cars. Let's see. There's item. Go ahead, Joe.
F2E, is that the one you're talking about, Mayor?
That is correct. Where it says 2 code enforcement cars, where it says 3, I like to strike it, leave it 2, move the 3rd car down for discussion.
Okay. So
actually, can I, Mayor, may I be recognized? I got a question on that same item.
Yes, sir.
I had seen something extra in here, and I just wanted to question about a chainsaw. I didn't see that in the cow, so I just wanted to question it. I didn't know if I had to pull it to question it or how we want to do it. I'm being honest. Maybe I missed it. I just want to make sure.
So, I'm sorry, Trustee Brooks. I apologize. I thought you were done. What I would suggest is that we'll remove it from the consent agenda and just approve it separately as an action item, because it sounds like there's more. If we were just going to change it to 2 code enforcement items, I'd be okay with, just because the resolution is really just the resolution. But if you want to have actual discussion on it, then I would say remove it from the consent agenda for that. But unless it's a quick answer and maybe manager back
with the mayor. I'm with the mayor on this one. Whatever he wants to do with the car, I'm with him on this one.
Okay.
All right, we'll discuss that, Joe, for an action item for discussion.
After the consent. Yeah, yes. We'll just do it that way then.
All right.
Okay. And well, actually, don't get mad at me. I know Miss E, I was just up there, but I seen something in there, F2A. So don't get mad. I know some of these things we discussed, but I hope, we got this on Friday. So I seen a couple items that I wanted to question. So don't get too mad. I got like maybe three I wanted to pull 4. So if you don't mind, I want to go through that, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
Is that item F28, Trustee Brooks?
Yeah, it was in reference to I see a payment plan, but I thought it was going to be, if she can just answer, if I seen payment plan, but my interpretation was we're going to pay it all. That if you turn to page 29, it said they was going to do a payment plan of 10 payments in Exhibit B, but I thought that we were just going to pay it all. So I just wanted to make sure before we pass this that everyone was on the same page.
Can you give them an answer to that now, Manager Beck-Fogel?
Yes, what it is, we're actually getting the loan from this finance company to buy it outright, but we will pay them through our collections of the ambulance. We will pay them off like we did with the other piece of equipment. So they are loaning us the money to outright buy it, and then we will pay it off to them from our payments that comes in. So it wouldn't come from the general fund again per se. It will come from the monies that's collected in that independent ambulance fund. So it wouldn't come from the general fund money.
I thought this was the impact fee. That's why I was confused.
No.
Not the ambulance.
This is a separate fee. No.
So it's separate?
Yes, it's the collection. The village has an account that it collects ambulance fees from. And so it's an agreement set into how and what the dollars are to be used for. So these dollars, we use this to go after the company, finance company, and we were approved within 48 hours to get the ambulance, and we pay them on the payment.
Yeah, yes. I just want to make sure we're minusing the impact fee on the ambulance. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're not striking that. We're not striking F2A. And I see we have for our audits. I mean, shouldn't we F2J be set out so that we discuss that?
If there are questions and you want to do a review, then yes, you would remove it as a separate action item. If you guys have all reviewed it and there's no questions, I don't, because of COVID, you're not having auditors come. Usually, in a normal non-COVID year, your auditor would come and actually make a presentation. If you guys have reviewed it and there's no questions, then you could go. But if there are questions, then yes, sir, you would remove it and have it voted on separately.
The auditor is here, by the way, the auditor is making a presentation and can't answer questions if he has to.
Right.
Okay, well then
Yes, I'm available for any questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can pull it out so it will be legal.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Madam Clerk, then actually the only 3 items I'm going to talk about is F2D, F2E, and F2F. Everything else, and then F2J for discussion. And after that, I'm ready to vote.
Okay, so that's F. Are you still pulling F2A?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Just F2E, F2J, and F2J.
Yeah, let me just
F2E.
And F2.
Yeah. D David, E Edward, F is in Frank, and the last one is J as in John. Those 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Aside that, Mayor, unless another trustee, I'm ready to make the motion to take the vote on tonight's consent.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Mayor, may I be recognized?
Hey, trustee.
On F2E, we're gonna purchase 2 cars for code enforcement. Is that it? That's what we are gonna do, pull out 1 and then have 2 left?
Yes.
But could we purchase the 2 cars and send 1 not to code enforcement, but 1 to public works? Will we be able to do that?
No.
No. Can't do it.
We'll just discuss it after we remove it down at the bottom. We can discuss it, what the options are. How about that, trustee?
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
All right. All right. Does anybody else have any questions or any inquiries? If not, is there a motion?
So move, Mayor.
Moved by Trustee Brooks.
Second.
Who made the second?
I said second.
Bell. Second.
Trustee Bell and Trustee Williams made the second.
I can only take one.
Take Bell.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Okay.
All right. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Okay, one more. Trustee Williams.
Can you read that again?
We are approving the consent agenda for items F2A, F2B, F2C, F2F, F2G, F2H, F2I, F2K.
Vote aye.
Wait, Madam Clerk, did you exclude DEF?
Somebody has to mute their phone, please.
I think you accidentally said D, E, and F.
No, I said D, E, and J.
I got F too.
And F as well.
I'm sorry.
D, E, F, and J are pulled.
Oh, F2.
Yeah.
F. And J?
Yeah.
So you said, say that again.
So D, David, E,
Edward, F and Frank, and J as in John.
J as in John. Those are the only one that's pulled. Everything else, we're ready.
Okay.
All right. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
So can I ask a question?
So go ahead, ask a question. Go ahead, Trustee Bowden. Sure. Wait a minute. Why are we pulling 2D? Because we all discussed this in the COW meeting. That's a good. I'm sorry, Trustee Bowden. Go ahead.
Okay. Since we're getting ready to do the roll call on the consent agenda, after we do the roll call, Clerk, is there still discussion on other items, or just
Yes.
put out all?
Yes.
No,
okay.
The discussion will come. That's why they were pulled from the agenda.
Discussion and action.
And take
Okay,
action.
some of those that my question is, some of those that weren't pulled, is there still room for discussion once we do this roll call?
No.
Yeah, generally, once you approve it, you kind of move on. So if there's a question about it really quickly, I mean, if you want to have a question, this would be a good time to ask that question now, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mayor, I know we spoke about F2D. I didn't get a chance to get with Shirley, but I did chat with Madam Village Manager. It was only a question about. It was still a question about the decision of the street.
And that discussion about the street is, and I know that you wanted to look at other streets getting done, Abbott and Amherst, but right now I understand it's unaffordable and it's major reconstruction for Amherst and Abbott, and Farmview is a doable street. And I think I know for a fact we owe the residents to start on new streets. And I also know for a fact that we can start working on Abbott and Amherst and for the spring coming up.
Well, can you put that for the record?
It's on the record.
It's on the record. That was stated.
Okay, well, Madam Clerk, at least because I know with Shirley, she was coming up there to discuss this, and we had talked about it in between meetings. The only reason why, and I'm looking here, I know definitely from Elmhurst all the way back up to Harvest Lane, Mayor. I know we got to get that done. So that's why I'm not going to say no to the project. I was just wondering if it was in any way we can like split it off. But yes, it does. I did read the report that you read that and considering that I did have the opportunity to understand the financial constraints that we're in due to this COVID, you and I talked about it. I mean, we're just not getting that money, but we have wiggled around and saved enough in order to that we can pay for Farmview right now. So
that's correct.
Yeah. So I guess in this one I was trying to be sympathetic for Shirley on her block, the next block over, you know. But Shirley shaking her head, Mayor. I was trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with what he said about Amherst, but not just because it's my street. Whichever one needs to get done first. And Ernestine and I, village manager and I, have discussed Amherst, but that wasn't. I hadn't got to that point. The one I wanted to discuss was F2K. On a discussion. So is that? Do I need to table that one? And then
oh no, it's already tabled. It's already moved down for this. It's already moved down for discussion, trustee.
No, it has.
No, not K. Not K.
Not K. F2K.
She's talking about K as in Karen, the railroad crossing.
Right.
K as in Karen.
Right.
But they can answer. She can answer a question now that can really save us. Just want to answer the question. Right. Ask the question. I'll answer it.
Okay, well, let me find it here. With all these papers, let me find it. Just give me a second. I got tabs everywhere. Well, I can talk about it until I get to it. My issue, not an issue, but concern was, I think it was Iroquois had the lowest bid.
Yes.
And me knowing about bidding and working with the city of Chicago and putting in bids, sometimes this is just food for thought for the future. Sometimes the lower bidder is not always the best bid.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so with these two, with the deconstruction and who else? Gallagher. If you look at their bids compared to what Iroquois had, it's a big difference there. And it's known in the bidding world that Iroquois left a lot of money on the table doing bids. So my question is Iroquois going to be able to finish this job at this price they quoted? Are they going to be using substandard material or recycled material versus what Gallagher and the other crew?
No, this is okay. No, let me answer. First of all, there will be no change orders. That's the first.
I saw that. No, I saw that no change order. You're right.
And the second thing is that this is a state/federal job. They will be required to adhere. In fact, our engineers has to inspect it in accordance with the specifications that are outlined in the bid. So we got them covered all the way around. They have quite a few jobs out here. Quite a few jobs, not out, I mean out there. The other contractors aren't as affluent. Iroquois is all over everywhere. So they felt comfortable enough to bid this job to make a profit and whatever. So we inspected it, the engineers inspected it, and the other powers that be, and everybody concurred, and I provide you all with a copy that Iroquois be awarded the bid. So we've done the due diligence on this, but that's a great question and a concern, but we had the very same one, so they were actually reviewed and sanctioned before it was recommended for award.
And actually, village manager, I have worked with all three of the companies, and Iroquois is good, but there's Gallagher and the Deconstruction who are tops. That's been out here way before. So that statement about Iroquois, yeah, they're out here, but Gallagher's out here, and so, and I'm not either one of them. I'm saying that. But I'm saying when you don't leave this much money on the table when you're doing bids, just FYI for future. And I see the engineers recommended them as the low bidder and whatever. And if you say we've done all the due diligence,
yes, ma'am,
I'm okay. But that's one of my concerns.
Yes,
I'm
yeah,
done.
but I'm with you, trustee. Like you said, you've been there and done that. But as long as we're protected, they're guaranteed they have to do the job. That's why they have that bond. So if they don't do it, we have an out with their bond.
With the bond, exactly. With that bond,
Yep.
Yeah. With the bond, we're good. Okay.
Ma'am.
Okay, Mayor, I'm done.
Shirley,
Okay.
if I could just add one thing to that, Shirley. So I noticed the difference in those prices too, and it rose a red flag. I reached out to the engineers and they explained a little bit to me more about the inspection process, what made me feel more comfortable.
Okay.
All right, Trustee Jacobs-Bell. No, that was Madam Clerk.
So are we pulling it or leaving it on the
No, I'm okay. I got an explanation. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
But that's just FYI for future bidding.
And so are we leaving 2D as well?
I didn't say nothing about 2D.
No,
Farm view.
Oh,
that's me and Theo.
Yeah, well,
I think village manager had an explanation for that. So that's my concern is first. Let's put it on the record now. It is my concern, but I've been told what the process is and what we got the money to do versus what we don't. But assured that Abbott and
Amherst will be addressed. Spring 21.
Because
we got some now, but we don't have enough. That's what I'm saying. We got to have enough to complete the job, and now Trustee Bolden, and also you're going to have coming by Friday a summary of Amherst. I've given everybody Abbott. You have Farmview. Amherst is the only one that's outstanding, and you'll have that by Friday.
Okay.
Correct. Okay. And Mayor, so then you have Madam Clerk, since it is coming, and I just wanted this, that we understood that the priority was Abbott, Amherst. Armstead is on the list, but for the record, that section over by Amherst where Farmview is needed, it's an emergency.
It is.
Yeah. So in a way, it would be down by Amherst, but that is still Farmview. So that was for the record. So Madam Clerk, I'll just go ahead and strike D, and we'll vote for it. I just want the mayor.
Just as long as it's on the record, I was concerned about it.
Oh yeah, it's a concern, and we'll definitely make sure that we will be addressing those Abbott and Amherst 21.
And if we begin to polarize the money and let them for bids during the winter months, our bottom line costs will be substantially lower. That's the best time to put out for bids. But we're very careful and very specific on how we're going to do that. But it is in the plan.
And she did explain that to me earlier, Mayor. I yield my time.
Okay. All right. Madam Clerk, we have the fire in order. Roll call, please.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I think since we pulled and didn't pull, maybe we should read into the record the items that are on the consent agenda that everyone's approving, if that's okay with you.
That's fantastic, Madam Clerk. For clarity and transparency, absolutely.
Okay, F2A is first, second, and third reading of an ordinance authorizing the acquisition of one conversion ambulance, correct? F2B is a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an agreement by and between the Village of University Park, Governor State University. F2C, resolution approving the execution of an agreement with Naturally Urban Environmental Inc. for mold remediation at Fire Station 2 and the 698 Burnham Drive building. F2D is a resolution approving the Ontario Group for construction for the Farmview Road resurfacing. F2G is a resolution approving and authorizing an agreement with the Ontario Group for Old Forge Drainage Project. F2H, resolution authorizing intergovernmental agreement signed between the Village of University Park and the RTA contract. F2G is a resolution authorizing
Take it and give it to
a
her.
technical assistance agreement between the village and RTA Authority for the University Park Todd Plan.
That's the other one I wanted to discuss.
F2A is a resolution approving the successful bidder for University Parkway related to the railroad crossing safety improvement project. Okay. Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Both sides.
Trustee Frank.
Both sides.
Trustee Bolden.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
And Mayor Rudez.
Vote side.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, F2A is ordinance 2020-12. F2B is resolution 2020-19. F2C is resolution 2020-20. F2D is resolution 2020-21. F2G is resolution 2020-22. F2H is resolution 2020-23. F2I is 2020-24. And F2K is 2020-25.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, trustee.
did we let that resident know about F2G? Did we send them a letter and said that would be done, or they already know about tonight?
Which one is that, Trustee Brooks?
The Old Forge Lane one.
Yeah, it's on. Yes.
They already. Okay.
Yes. It encapsulates the whole area, which is going to be a better quality of life for those residents in that area. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. No more mosquitoes.
But it ain't absolutely.
But it helps. It helps.
But you know what? It's an environment. It's an environmental hazard that it took a little time, but the focus is cleaning up that environment, so it's good. And I thank all of you all for moving the village forward. There we go. All right, let's go down for the items that were for discussion. And may I have a motion, according to our clerk, that all the documents aren't there for pro champs. So may I have a motion to table pro champs?
Your motion to table.
Second.
Well, one second. Get Madam Clerk a second. But the motion was made by Trustee Williams and second by Trustee Sonia Bale Jenkins.
Mr. Mayor, would that be would that go into F2A and B?
Yes.
Would we do both of them?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. F3A and 3B.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stuck on 2. I might even play that number tonight. Okay. I think that was Jenkins and Williams.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Trustee Williams.
Both aye.
Trustee Brooks,
Votes aye.
Trustee Jenkins Bell,
Both aye.
Trustee Franklin,
Both aye.
Trustee Bolden,
Both aye.
Trustee McMullen,
Votes aye.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye. Okay, that's the motion to table that now. With the discussion item, what else was moved down? That was item
F2E, F2F, and F2J, sir.
okay, F2E. Trustee, okay,
Yes.
this is for the third the additional car. Questions for them trustees. The manager should be able to address these questions.
Yeah. Mayor, I just want to jump down to just ask the village manager about the chainsaw. I noticed that was an extra. Was that? I didn't see it on the.
Trustee Brooks, we on 2E right now.
Yes, I didn't see.
Oh,
it.
That's
I didn't see the
that's,
trench. What you call the trenching chain, trenching, the chain trencher. I didn't see it on there, so I wanted to make sure that we all was aware it was on there, and then also strike the. Well, I know we spoke about the vehicle. Mayor, I was just when I had called, I wanted to leave a little suggestion or.
I can tell you what that is.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, go ahead. Wait a minute. 1 second.
It's part of the auger and the bits. It's part of the two-man auger. You can make that transform retrofit with the auger. It's part of the bits of the auger. So public work.
Okay, great.
Yes,
All right, so everybody know, because I noticed that they had charged like almost $2,700 for it. So that's the only reason why I had asked it. Mayor, I'm okay. I know we spoke about code enforcement vehicles. I was just wanting to bring up one suggestion. Then I yield my time. Have we thought about, like, with the extra money of possibly purchasing the squad cars from Chicago Motor? That was just a suggestion, just in case we wanted to have cars into the fleet with extra vehicle. That was just me making a pitch towards, because I think they were selling like 15,000, although there may be about 80,000 miles on it. But I was just giving a suggestion that if we had went to 2, that we can probably just take that other extra money and use it for extra squad car type vehicles. They're not squad car, but the Ford Explorers. Oh, it's a Ford Explorers. So that was just me making a pitch. I yield my time, Mayor.
Okay.
I guess we recognize.
Yes, sir, Trustee McMullen. Go ahead, Trustee.
I know we talked about it for a moment. F2E, if I'm not mistaken. How were we able to get that third car for half the price? Let me know, village manager, please.
All right.
Here's the deal.
That's cool.
We're on that discussion there.
Okay. Let me tell you, the discussion for that third car.
One second, manager, 1 second. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
No, I was gonna say, we're taking it so out of order. Could we reference it as we pull them?
Okay, this is all under item F2E. The auger was a part of item F2E as well. So we did kind of go out of order. We went from the last to the first. So all of them are on the same item, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
Okay. We good?
Trustee, I'm
yes.
sorry, Attorney Miller, should we not have a motion to discuss these items before we get into the discussion? I could have be a lot easier to follow.
Hold on.
Hello?
Lost folks. Okay, Attorney Miller.
I'm here. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back. I lost Trustee Bolden.
I don't know what happened there.
So the question was, Attorney Miller, I guess you understood what the clerk was asking, correct?
He's not there again. Hold on. I gotta wait for him to call back in.
Mayor, can I make a point, say a comment?
Well, no, before we move forward, let's just get the legal opinion.
We have to put it on the floor to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
Since it was.
Okay, here comes Trustee Bolden.
Trustee,
may I be recognized?
Trustee.
May I be recognized?
Go ahead, Trustee.
This, you all are talking and I done got lost. I'm confused now. Where we at?
Good point.
That's
refer to something on the floor. Yeah.
Okay, we got Trustee Bolden and the Attorney Joseph Miller back in the room.
Okay, Attorney Miller, the clerk had a question regarding this discussion items.
Should we not have a motion and a second for each item for discussion and then take the action on it? Rather,
I apologize. I missed out on some discussion. I lost connection. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like there's a question on the motion.
Should there not be a motion before discussion starts on each of the items that were pulled?
So it goes both ways, quite honestly. Half the people do it. I prefer that we actually have the motion and the discussion afterwards, but that's a Joe preference. There are a lot of attorneys who do it the other way around as well. My preference is that you do the motion first, because then the public who's listening can understand what you're talking about.
All right, I would like to do the motion. May I have a motion from one of the trustees, please?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion, item F2E, resolution approving the purchase of the equipment of the vehicle, 4 new police cars, 2 code enforcement vehicles, 2 lawnmowers, a boom truck, a dump truck, and an auger with bits for public works.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Trustee McMullen. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
No, you want a discussion now, right? Or do you guys?
We want to discuss after the roll. Do we do the roll call?
No. You're going to discuss it, and then you'll do the vote.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So where we left off at, Trustee McMullen was asking the manager about the cars. Manager Ernestine, let's take it from there.
Do you want me to repeat it, or you remember?
Go ahead, Trustee, just for the record.
For the record, I asked you, how is it the third car is given the half price or for the third car? How are we accommodating that action?
Okay, are you ready? Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
They gave us a $4,000 discount. They gave us, now this is that vendor versus the other vendor. They gave us a $4,000 discount. They gave us a credit in terms of a state credit for. So actually, rather than having to pay the $19,000 as shown for the fully equipped cars, we only had to pay $11,000. So we got that third car for $11,000 versus the other vendor I showed you that we use all the time charged $29,000 per vehicle. So that's what I was showing you, that this vendor that I'm recommending is the best of all. Their apples to apples, but when it comes to the actual bottom line cost, one gives all the discounts versus the other. It didn't matter to me. Both of them were fine, but it's that other one that we looked at and saying we couldn't get the first vendor to go down, but this other one was very amenable.
So they lose the bid. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the comment.
Okay.
I yield my time, Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee McMullen. Any other questions regarding this other vehicle?
I do have a question.
Trustee Franklin.
Okay, would it be possible for us to potentially use the third vehicle to help with our crime-free housing program in the future? Would that be an option, or is it stipulations because of the fund that is coming from?
Okay, you want me to answer that, Mayor?
Yes, please.
Okay, we could do it under the auspices of code enforcement. See, because these cars are specifically used directly to affect TIF 7. So if we want, we can still do TIF 7, but it would have to be under the auspices of code enforcement. That's why I said this third car at that cost would be best served. We can use it under the code enforcement. If we had to use it for that enforcement, so be it. But the fact is, if we need it to address over there in TIF 7, so be it. So it's justifiable.
Understood. Thank you.
Trustee Williams.
Okay, this is for code enforcement. Code enforcement only needs 2 cars. So even if we're getting a discount, we can't use 3 cars in that.
Let me correct you. The code enforcement has 1 fire person that's under code enforcement, and the code enforcement itself will have a part-time, but it's a full-time. So you're gonna have a full-time and part-time under code enforcement, regular, and then you have the fire department that has a code enforcement officer. So technically, there are 3 people. There are 3 people.
Question.
Does the fire department have a car?
No, they don't have a car for code enforcement. They use the deputy chief's car, or that person was getting dollars, whatever, for usage. I don't know to what extent it is now, but let me just say, no, to answer your question, no.
Okay, well.
We would save all around with a car for $11,000 with all these amenities. It won't happen again, I'm sure. And even if we have to take that code enforcement for use for purposes of random inspections for whatever that affect maybe a TIF 7, we have it available. We have it there because they're going to be parking those cars at nighttime. They're going to park.
Question.
Yes.
If my question is this: if the fire department is using them just for code enforcement, which is just inspections that they do, basically in the industrial or commercial inspections, why can't one of the older police cars be used, or decommissioned or whatever you do to use that for the fire department? Why do we need this third car? So my question is that I'm not finished. If the fire department gets everything, because this is what we're hearing, why is it we have public works riding around in these cars that are umpteen years old, and they are part of our essential workers that are working to make sure that our village is running accordingly? Now, my question also is if we have an impact fee, and inside the impact fee, code enforcement, the fire department, and also the public works department was included in this impact fee to get boom trucks and all of those different things, why shouldn't we use one of those cars or get one of those cars that can be used in the public works area as well? So that's just, I'm asking.
Okay, here's the answer. First of all, the public works department will have a 4-cabin vehicle. They're getting a 4-cabin vehicle and a truck. So they're getting enough for 6 people to ride in and deal with 6 people. They already have it. It's right here. They're getting that. So they're getting that plus the existing whatever with the advent of the 4-cabin and the other 2, that would cover their staff usage. It will cover it. That's the reason for the 4-cabin. We're going to get 2, but if you check the specifications, it's 4 cabins, meaning in the vehicles, 2, and the other, we have 1, 2, and then we bought a new one too. So we have them. But now here's the deal with the fire department. Fire department is now not just doing the industrial area and the you said commercial, I think you said. They're okay, because of that position, they almost do a 50-50 kind of thing. Raw does an inspection, he then call in that inspector. And that inspector does a report as well. And it is then filed, and or whoever we're doing the inspections for, it's either charged against them or whatever the case may be. So that's not totally true, but they do a bulk with industrial, but that's not totally true. They have done residential, and they do commercial. So
let me
yes,
ask a question. Now another question. If they are doing residential, if they're doing 50-50, why are we hiring another code enforcement part-time? So my question is why do we need one? And we're in the middle of a pandemic, and we have heard the state is doing budget cuts and all of these different types of things. Where is that going to leave us? And why do we need it? That's are we making practical decisions when we're doing this? That's my question.
Trustee, I have to say we are making practical decisions. Number one, we haven't hired that second person, that part-time person yet. But the point is, there are so many code violations in University Park, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And we got to get some handle on it. We've got to get, I have the existing code enforcement officer is out there constantly the 5 days a week. Now, when I find out that the second individual is lacking, that person is pulled in too. But trustee, I'm going to tell you, there are still many of them that are still lacking code inspections, and there are a lot of abandoned ones that I'm just beginning to get the information that we're getting to have the attorney to file liens on those properties. It's a massive combobulation. I mean, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. The existing code violations are just something that's just there. It needs to, not all day. Folks are calling because they feel that we're not moving fast enough. When they're living next door to a piece of property, we don't always have the person to send over there. They're saying, well, this has been this. I know the village has been cutting and the village has been done, but we have to get some consistency. Public Works can't always cut to rectify the problem. We got to get at these homeowners, these landowners, to begin to get some monies in the coffers in order to compensate for us spending the time to pay Public Works to cut when they can be doing some other things. But I understand, and here again, I tell you, we get this, and we get that car, anything that's related to TIF 7, we can use it for. But keep in mind, $11,000, and keep in mind that if we decide to get another car, we're gonna definitely pay more than $11,000. And believe me, all I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say without really saying it. This car is $11,000, trustee. All these discounts on it. If it has to be, if Public Works has to go over and check or something that has to do with the industrial area, everybody has a law. Whoever uses it, the time, the date, the conditions, use it. When they bring it back, if it's loaded, empty, whatever, and we're all agreeing, and department heads are agreeing to do this. So that means if that car has to be used because Public Works has to go over there on whatever center, and they need to check on the guys over there that are mowing the public right of way or doing something, they have a vehicle to do it in. Again, I tell you, this car cost $11,000. $11,000.
Do we have $11,000 is the question.
Pardon me?
I mean, do we have the $11,000 is the question.
That money is coming from the impact fees. The balance of the monies that's left is going to be used for the rehab of fire station number 2.
Okay.
So believe me this
Village manager, I think you froze. Can anyone else hear me?
Maybe it was
yes, we can hear you.
No, she's not frozen on my screen.
Maybe it was tired of me. Okay.
May I be recognized?
So we must be getting very close to the end of that impact fee with all this spending out of that impact fee. Are we, village manager?
Yes, but every penny of that impact fee, I keep little stickers, and Jucelia does.
We
account for every expenditure, and we make sure it's in compliance with that impact residential development ordinance. So, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And here again, if anytime you all want to see it, you can see it. I mean, I have no problem. We can definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going based on the specs that you have.
May I be recognized? Hello, can I be recognized? Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I can hear you. Okay.
I was muted, trustee.
Okay. Well, I was saying is like, okay, we'll have two cars for code enforcement. Okay, the second code enforcement person will be part-time. So it will be a car just sitting there, you know, for if we need to be used, it could be used because it's part-time. The guys, whoever, would be part-time. So that's what I'm saying. We got 2 people. One is part-time. We only need 2 cars.
Trustee, let me point you again. This impact fee can only be used for what it says. And I understand your argument, but I hope you understand mine.
But you're saying that it has to be for code enforcement.
Yes, but I also said that if Public Works needs the vehicle to check on a related kind of thing, they will be able to use it to do whatever as long as they sign off and whatever. All of them are going to do it. But that's the point I'm trying to make to you.
Okay.
Essentially, you're going to paint code enforcement with the broad brush. Okay. So what'll happen is that yes, you have designated code enforcement people, but as long as it's a related use, they'll be able to use the car.
That's all I'm saying.
Trustee Jenkins.
I want on the record that I am not in agreement with purchasing 3 cars. I want to, and that's it, and that's all.
Okay.
I second that emotion.
All right. Okay. Any other questions of the trustees?
No, but a comment on that. If we don't buy that, if we don't buy that 3rd car, which I'm sort of in agreement with, money will still be in the impact fee, and if we have to use it for something else related to code enforcement, or we need that car for something else, we can still purchase it, but not at that 11,000 you're talking about, correct?
Thank you, trustee. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Otherwise, we can just leave the money sit there in the impact fee and just let it sit there for something else.
Absolutely. We'll never be able to buy another car, a 2020 for $11,000, which would be loaded the way it is. That's all I'm trying to tell you all without saying yes. Mm-hmm.
And my question, I have another question. Why is one a Trailblazer and the other 2 track cars? What?
I sent you an email.
Okay, you sent it. I didn't see it. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor, may I be recognized?
Trustee Brooks.
Yeah. Did we are going to equip this vehicle with caution, or as we use emergency lights, except they would be amber. We are equipping the vehicles.
The code enforcement vehicles. We had not discussed that, trustee. We had not discussed that. We had talked about the logos, the registration, the M plates, but we had not discussed any usage of amber light. We can, if need be, as long as they're within the scope of, we can. Don't have any problems with that.
Well, the reason why I asked that question, well, I wanted the trustee, those who those who are talking about the money, we do need to take in consideration that those vehicles have to be outfitted with emergency equipment, such as
amber
lights and so forth. And also, I want to make sure the point, and actually, Mayor, this was the message I was leaving. Federal Signal, we probably want to check and make sure that Federal Signal has the proper equipment to fit a vehicle that size. If not, we may want to reconsider, do we want to move up to the Ford Explorer or another more of a Chevy vehicle that has been used for public service? Because one point that was told to me was that make sure that your vehicles are all-wheel vehicle, and I think I've seen that these were all-wheel vehicle, but let's also take in consideration the duration of the durability of that vehicle, where it can handle the bumps. Because if it's going out towards the Amazon site and those constructions that's going to happen out there, it got to be able to handle bumps and so forth and going over like the Ford Explorer. So I just want to make that whatever money is left over that could be used on the third car can be used for Federal Signal and those spending, because I believe that money can be used for equipping the vehicles that's used inside for the impact fee. I yield my time there.
Yeah. And manager, this is one point I do want to make. When we start rolling in new vehicles, we definitely want to have a vehicle maintenance plan on board so we can maintain our vehicles. That's a fleet maintenance plan for all the new vehicles from this day moving forward.
Thank you, Mayor, but preaching to the choir. That's one reason why we have this in here. They have wonderful warranties. All right. And I made some slight mention to Trustee Brooks about that as well. That's one reason why we went to the extent of this, because they have great warranties.
Okay, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
So everything stays as is, right? There are no amendments to this.
That's my understanding, Madam Clerk. But I was going to ask the exact same question. So, are you guys doing 2 or 3 vehicles? Because that looks like that vote may depend on what the number of vehicles is. I don't know, Mayor, if you can maybe.
I like to just get the consensus of the board and just take a vote on it.
I mean, well,
I say that it should be 2 vehicles.
I think it should be 3. I think for the village, we cannot afford not to have 3 vehicles. And especially at that price.
Thank you, Trustee. You're right.
Trustee McMullen, I would have to agree with you. I think we need to step our game up in the Department of Code Enforcement. As village manager mentioned, there's so many violations, and in my mind, violations equate to money that's owed to the village because of fines and fees that we would be able to collect if we were able to step up our game in the Department of Code Enforcement. And also, I believe that it has to be clear that this is not coming out of the general fund, it's coming out of the impact fee. And I want to make sure that that's clear. And if we think about a better way that we can spend $11,000, I don't know if there's a better way that you can spend $11,000 in the 2020 brand new vehicle that we can use for our code enforcement department. So those are my thoughts. That's my input.
Okay, I got a thought. Was listening to what Trustee Brooks said. that all the stuff we're gonna need to put on these cars, that $11,000 can get.
Well, you know what though? I'm really not. I'm uncertain about it because I don't know if code enforcement cars actually need to be outfitted. They've never been outfitted before, so that's something new. That's the first time that I've heard of a code enforcement car being outfitted.
Yeah,
being outfitted. I need clarity on that too. What would they need to be outfitted for? Like, what would the outfit be?
Let me make a clarification. When I meant outfitted, on the inside, pay attention. It would be outfitted as if it was an unmarked unit, meaning that I was speaking of, I don't know if code enforcement have radios inside and so forth. So in the inside of the interior and also on there are certain lights and mechanisms that they would have. Say, for instance, code enforcement pulls over in front of a house. Is it common? I mean, Madam Village Manager, maybe you understand what I was just saying, that there is mechanisms you can use on vehicles to put wig-wags. We'll use the wig-wag lights, interior, maybe flashing yellow lights. The same way, prime example, director buy this vehicle. Maybe that would be more like it, like directors buy this vehicle. I don't know how much it costs to outfit it. I was just saying that if it was extra money, that we can use it for that. That's what I meant. I don't mean a full-fledged police unit, like a community service unit, but a code enforcement unit with the interior lights for caution or whenever they are on a safety call.
They're similar to, for lack of your terms, Trustee, Mars lights. That's what we had thought about that. Amber lights was something that's new, but Mars lights on equipment for code enforcement are what's considered general. And they would use their own iPad. They use their iPad right now on the inspections. So they would use their own iPad and set it up inside. So whatever, but we got to get the markings done on it as well. So we're going to put University Park's logo, the markings on the vehicle.
They'll be recognized as code enforcement vehicles.
That is going to happen. I didn't bring all of that out because that's part of the completion of the deal. But yes, the markings will go on the vehicle and the Mars light. So that's basically it.
So, in your estimation, if we did get the third car, we would still have funds available to take care of the markings. Is that your estimation?
Bottom line, Trustee. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. How do we do this, Madam Clerk? Do we take a vote on this?
Yeah, we've had the discussion. We've got a motion. Yeah. We've got a second. So now we approve it as it is on the agenda.
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Williams.
I pass.
Trustee Brooks. Trustee Brooks.
Pass.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Pass.
Wow.
Trustee Franklin.
Both sides.
Trustee Bolden.
Now this is to get 3 vehicles, right?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Trustee McMullen.
I vote yes.
Coming back. Trustee Williams.
Abstain.
Trustee Brooks.
Votes yes.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Votes no.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion passes, and that's resolution 2020-26.
Okay. The next discussion item. Item 2J?
F.
F2F.
F2F.
F2F. Okay, there's some questions about F2F concerns. Trustee Brooks?
Yes, Mayor. If we can, I'd seen that, what's this, parking lot? Can we take a look at Exhibit A? I just think something was missing. We did a bid on this, right?
Not on this one. This is one that was discussed in the cow.
Okay. Yeah, and then what I wanted to say, Mayor, was that I seen a different number in the cow. I want to make sure which number are we going to go, or which number, because I seen the 399. But the question I seen is that they had a little, let me go to the page here.
Okay.
They're saying that was included if they did another portion for 167.
You're muted, Trustee. I mean, yes.
The engineer was recommending that. That's not what we were recommending. We were using the money we had. So the engineer, so what we did, we got them, meaning the village, got them, meaning Century, to agree to no change orders. So they're going to do both of the ingress and the egress on both sides of the parking lot. They're going to put all the markings in, and they're going to asphalt it accordingly. Now, the engineers said that if they did that, more than likely, they'd come back for a change order. So we confirmed it.
No change order.
No change orders. And they're going to do both sides of the streets and the entire parking lot. And they will sign off, and we got a bond reflective of that. So
there won't be any additional charges.
No.
Right. Correction. I'm looking here. If the trustees can look, maybe that's why I pulled this. Something was missing here. If you go to, I'm looking on the packet that Madam Clerk gave. So that would be page. If you look down by page 7, after page 7, it's supposed to be an agreement on page 8, and that's blank. That's what I wrote in my notes. So that's why I got confused on what it was doing. And then it had proposals, Exhibit A blank.
Right.
Go ahead, Madam Clerk. I see you at the corner of my eye.
Yeah, I did ask the manager about that, and I think she said that was included in the resolution or document.
The agreement.
Isn't the proposal, I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, isn't the proposal the one that has the estimate?
If you look up, it's like 2 of them. It's like, it's a couple things that's missing here. I don't know. It has Exhibit A proposals blank. Then it has Exhibit A agreement, that's blank. But it has the consent. Consent is Exhibit B there, and then it has the second exhibit on is there from the proposal. And then you go down, you see the email directed to the Madam Village Manager. And then if you go down a little bit further, I see the estimate. And so I guess, I mean, if anybody that was looking at this would probably say, how did we get to Century Asphalt as the company? Because I don't see where they have it here. No, I don't see where the engineers have it. They have here, the company has that the whole cost would be almost like $400,000, but then they say they would do a clean, prime, and a resurface for 167. So that kind of threw me off here. So I didn't know, and then they only given like a 1-year warranty on it.
Well, 1 year warranty is the traditional amount of time you find for anything, any construction work, concrete or asphalt. 1 year is the average. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's 1 year. That's tradition. That's a standard AIA. But I was looking at the recommendation. Did you see from the engineer? Did you see that cover letter that I provided in there for you all? His cover letter?
I did. Did we go to bids on this? Because I guess that's my next question. No.
We wouldn't have never been able to do this parking lot. So what we did, we solicited and procured, and we asked that the board forego this bidding process because it's specialized. You can do it because we wouldn't have been able to even do this parking lot in years for $1 million plus. $1 million plus. This particular contractor and the way we submitted it is part of a minority. It's United States minority contractors, whatever. They polarize their whatever. This particular contractor has done very little to haven't been able to get any jobs to COVID-19. We asked for the assistant. We gave them the information that the engineer had provided for them, and they came back with this bid with the layout as such. And that's how we were able to get this. Now the engineers assured us, and they're very thorough, that the inspection would incorporate the provisions of the specifications that were afforded them. So
why just one?
Mayor,
we couldn't get anybody over $1 million. I mean, less than $1 million. Under $1 million.
Mayor, can I be recognized?
Trustee McMullen, yes, sir.
This has been a thorn for the past 10 years, this parking lot. So if we got a bid, if we got a company that's willing to do it for under $1 million, I think we should go for it because the people in University Park deserve a parking lot. And we have discussed this. This has come up in our discussions about the parking lot for many years. So I think the people of University Park deserve a parking lot that does not look like an eyesore. And we do have the funds that will accommodate us in this quest for a new parking lot. I do believe the people of University Park deserve it.
Well, it's the center focus of our town. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So where is this funding coming? Where's this funding coming from? Road and Bridge or where?
No. It's coming from the $952,000 that we got from the permit, from the Clayco permit.
Permit fees.
Oh, this is from the permit fee. Okay. Mm-hmm. I thought it was coming out of the impact fee again.
But can I ask a question that one resident may ask?
So if it's 952,000,
if that's coming in at 900 for this price, why we couldn't put that towards Abbott Lane?
What, the $952,000?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. I'm just making a point that the average resident may be sitting here thinking like, you all would do the town center for this price, and actually for this price is what I seen for Amherst. Actually, Amherst was cheaper than this.
Trustee, let me just say, I hate to say it, but you're jumping the gun. That was my next quest. That's what I'm getting the money for Amherst and Abbott Lane, that we're trying to do the same thing, but we got to get what we can when we can do it, when we get it. This $952,000, when the monies was gotten, was first of all, we almost didn't get it, but through the village's negotiations, we were able to get the 952. So we did that 952 not to put us in a circumstance that the village has been shortened. That is, the state always coming at the village for 20% match.
Somebody needs to mute their phone, please.
So what we did is we took this $952,000 and put it on the side as a match for federal dollars we were able to get. We had to verify that we had the match to go with this. The railroad crossing, $58,000. We got funded, but we had to guarantee these people that the village had the funds to do it because we couldn't provide them with audits. We had to verify that we had the dollars. We took these dollars, we put them in an escrow fund, and we were using that as a backdrop to say, yes, we do have the money. So basically that's what it's for. But Abbott Lane and Amherst were definitely priority, and I get you, trustee, but it's not over. You know,
no, it's not.
What we can do is, but that is
$1 million.
But for $399,000, when they finally came with, I almost fell out of my chair. I said, now this compared to over $1 million, this is something we can do immediate. And it's something that I hear every day, all the time. So I thought it was up there with an Abbott, with a Amherst, with all of that. And we're going to do it all.
Yeah, we are.
But it's just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I'm trying. I'm trying to do all of this. Believe me.
I hear you, but understand that the residents has been waiting for so long. And Abbott and Amherst, on my side of town, are people, I honestly towed my truck up the day after election 4 years ago on Abbott Lane. That's how I know those people are so tired of that street looking the way it is. And if they seen the cost that we put in towards the town center, I'm going to hear, not you. I'm going to hear, Ms. E, how we could have spent that money somewhere else. I'm just saying.
But it's still not enough for Abbott Lane. It's still not enough. That's the thing. I gave you all a copy, please. That amount of money is still not enough. We're going to be in the same position we're getting ready to be in, is pulling the money during the winter months, polarize the money, match the money, come out boxing spring of the year with Abbott and Amherst. We can't.
I yield my time, Mayor, but I just want to make a point, though. I understand, Ms. E, that we want the time is coming, and I know that DPW has patched up, but I'm gonna take a scale back because I want the public to know I had a very productive 2 weeks with Trustee Liz Williams. She grabbed me by my hand and brought me to that village hall, and we sat in your office, and we sat in Cecilia's office, and I have had a broad perspective of the financial of the village. I'm taking a scale back that probably Trustee Williams and McMullen had did in 2017. We stepped back for a hot second, and this is one project I'm just going to step back a little bit because I know we have the money to do this, to spend it. You may have some money to buy a brand new pair of Air Jordans, but maybe a pair of Under Armour shoes can do for now. I yield my time, man.
All right. Well, let's clean up the town and our town center, and let's move forward. Any other questions for the trustees?
Well, I have a statement. I don't understand. If we don't have enough money to do the street, then I can understand us doing the parking lot. I mean, we can get something done, you know.
Yes.
And if you're coming back saying that we're going to make sure that this street is done in 2021, right?
Correct.
I'm working for the trustee. There's not a day I don't. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Trustee Brooks, if you remember, Josiah told us we would be ready to do those things. So I think that we're going to be in a good position to get both of these things done, and it's not going to be too long.
So,
the village has been very aggressive, very aggressive.
And I can tell you one thing.
It's a very aggressive approach. It is. I talked to the mayor. I think it's some things that we can do. I'm just being on the cautious side after what we had seen on last Wednesday. I just want to be cautious. So my vote will reflect being cautious.
All right.
I understand that. Wait a minute, but Trustee Brooks, I understand that, but you know, Judge Celia let us know that this will happen.
And that's one thing for sure, that there's definitely a plan.
That's the positivity that I'm thinking about, and I think we should get both of these things done.
Absolutely.
I hear my time.
All right. Any other inquiries or discussion for the trustees?
No.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
Mr. Mayor, could we have a motion and a second?
May I have a motion?
I'll do the motion.
Motion by Trustee Williams, second by Trustee McMullen. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Williams.
Both aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Votes no.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Votes aye.
Trustee Franklin.
Votes aye.
Trustee Bolden.
Come back to me, D.
Pass.
Pass.
Trustee McMullen.
Votes aye to put a new face on the village of University Park. Thank you. Because I am so tired of the eyesore that I hear about all the time, and that's the parking lot.
Trustee Bolden.
I votes aye with the stipulation that I'm concerned about Abbott Lane, period. I mean Amherst. Votes aye.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye.
Mr. Mayor, that's resolution 2020-27.
Okay. Let's continue moving this community forward. Thank you, board. Okay. The last item is item for discussion is item F2J. Trustee,
do we want to do a? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you guys want to do a motion and then have the presentation?
Yes. Yes. So, Mayor, I motion item F2J for the resolution adopting the findings in the annual audit for fiscal year ending April 30th of 2017.
Is there a second?
Second.
I second.
I broke up. Who made the second?
It doesn't matter. I second.
Trustee Liz Williams.
All right, Madam Clerk.
McMullen.
Okay. All right.
I think Mr.
So now we're going to 04.
Mr. Hanley?
Yes, good evening, all.
Good evening.
I'm Bill Hanley with the accounting firm of Whipley, and we're going to present tonight the 2017 audit report. I first want to thank Ernestine and Jasilia and the Kasperic accounting firm for their assistance. We're all working as best we can to get these audits caught up. You know, this is the fiscal 17 year report. That's 3 years ago. Some of you may not have even been on the board at that time, but as I said, we just want to, we got to take these 1 year at a time. Back in May, I believe it was, you approved the FY16 report. Tonight, hopefully, after discussion, we'll approve the FY17 report. And then the plan is to complete the FY18, 19, and 20 reports just as soon as we can and be current. And I know that the Jasilia and Ernestine and the Kasperic firm, they're doing their best to get you current information, meaning FY21 information. All right, so I believe all of you received a copy of the audit report for the FY17 year. All right, and you know it's an 80-page report. It's a lot to go through. I'm going to hit 4 or 5 highlights, and then I'll be open for questions. Okay, so the items, the biggest items that happened during the year, revenues for the year were $24.9 million. That's all revenues for all the funds. Expenses were $21 million, okay? That's good, okay? Revenues exceeded expenses, and during this year, part of that revenue increase was increased building permit fees, similar to the Clayco fees you just talked about. However, you know, when you, these amounts that I gave are for the village in total. If you look at a specific fund, the general fund, within the general fund, the expenditures still exceeded the revenues for this time period by $500,000, $500,000. And my comment there is that's just not sustainable. And I think the takeaway is here, when you look at budgets for, I don't know where you're at with like FY21 or 22, you've got to work towards a balanced budget and even start building surpluses into your budgets to take care of some of these deficits that have arisen over the years that I'll talk about in just a minute. The other big change within this fiscal year, again, it's FY17, and it's 3-4 years ago. The University Parkway Road Improvement, okay, that asset, which is a combination of village contribution and state contribution, we added that as a village fixed asset during this year. That increased the assets of the village by about $8 million, okay? And that increase in assets of $8 million increased the overall village fund balance from a negative $5 million to a positive $6 million. Okay, so that was good news. That was a positive within this fiscal year. However, when you look at the makeup of the fund balance, and fund balance is basically all the village assets, cash, property taxes receivable, capital assets, your roads, your equipment, golf course, all water system, all of these assets, less your liabilities, you have what's called fund balance, okay? And the village investments in the golf course and your fixed assets, those are sunk costs. You can't really, use those or sell them very easily. And then all the TIF cash balances are restricted funds. So when you back out the restricted funds, the unrestricted or available fund balance, okay, is $48 million as of this date. Now, I forgot to say that also includes pension liabilities, okay? Your pension liabilities are roughly $15–16 million too. So that certainly is a big part of this unrestricted deficit.
That's a big part of it, yeah.
Yeah, yep. And, you say, well, how is that possible, okay? And what's happened over the years, and I mean like over the last 15 years, maybe even longer, the operating deficits within the general fund, okay, have been funded by the TIFs, okay? And as of this date, you know, April 30th, 2017, the general fund owes the TIFs $26 million in total. There's $18 million owed to TIF 5, $6 million owed to TIF 4, and $2 million to TIF 2. As I said, this didn't happen all in one year. This is, you know, $1 million, $1.5 million in each of the past 20 years. And you do that, you know, just kind of do the math. $1 million for 20 years is $20 million. So that's a big issue that needs to be addressed. Now, I can't tell you what the current balances are, but they're in that same range. When we present the audit reports for, you know, 18, 19, 20, we'll of course give you that information, okay? The other items our audit report in notes 12 and 9 talk about some lawsuits and settlement agreements that the village has entered into, either lawsuits against the village and or there was some unpaid insurance with your the insurance is with a buying group, Illinois, what is it, Claims Management, or I don't have that name, Illinois County's Risk Management, excuse me, ICRM. And that's, you know, that there's been payments made on that liability in the intervening several years here. But in addition to the TIF borrowings, you know, the general fund borrowing from the TIF, there's some money that, if you look at note 13, okay, there's monies borrowed back and forth between funds. And that's a little bit, if a fund has cash, it's kind of convenient. If one fund has cash and another fund needs to make a purchase or, you know, have expenditures, it's a borrowing from one fund to the other, and the amounts of those borrowings between funds are shown on note 13. And I would defer to your village attorney, but I've seen other places where villages have said, you know, okay, that was done in the past. We have to deal with it. We really don't think that the fund that borrowed the money will be able to repay it. And you may just approve a transfer of funds from a transfer of money from one fund to the other fund.
Right.
But I think you should, you know, discuss that with your attorney, and if you want to take those steps. All right. I don't know if your board package includes internal control letter for FY17. Back in May, there was an internal control letter, you know, for FY16. The letters are very similar. We talk about these transfers between funds. We talk about the need for improved financial reporting. The village has taken steps to improve its financial reporting and get everything caught up current, you know, caught current as quickly as we can. So, you know, I think we're all moving in the right direction. It just takes time. You know, there's a lot of years to go through. There's a lot of transactions to go through. You know, this year with the FY17, with the University Parkway project, there was many calls, Miss E and Lauren and Stephanie with the state of Illinois and the engineers, just to get all that information. You know, it's difficult to account for them when they happen in a current year, and we're trying to figure out, you know, 3-4 years ago when really none of us were involved at that time. So I just tossed a lot of numbers at you. You know, again, it's in 2017, we really can't change too much what happened there. And it's just,
exactly.
You know, let's just work towards the future. And, you know, as I said, we're, these deficits didn't happen in 1 year or 2 years. It's
over a period of time,
15 years, 20 years. So we really need a long-term strategy. And at one time, and I don't know what the board's feelings are on this, some of the village's debt is rolling off. I think in 21, a couple one issue is paid in full, and there's some talk about maybe looking at additional borrowings and see how much basically you could borrow over maybe a 20-year period with rates are low, and the money that you're paying now for debt service, maybe kind of budget or earmark that same money for some additional borrowings for maybe capital projects, maybe some, you know, operating deficits. Funding, using debt to fund operating deficits can be a tough sell sometimes. But again, these are items that I think that the board needs to be thinking about. So
let me clarify one thing for you guys, because I want to make sure, because I think me and your auditor will be in agreement because I do fund transfer resolutions for clients all the time, but we wouldn't be able to do a fund transfer resolution now for going back to 2017, 2018 or something like that nature. I think you would agree with me on that. You're talking about going forward when you're seeing deficits in funds. You're not talking about
Yes.
No,
so,
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah, we would take action in the current year to correct it. We can't. You're right. We can't do back then. Yeah. So.
Right. I just want to make sure you guys understand that's not something we can do. So other than that.
Oh yeah, fully understood. Fully understood.
I brought that point up mostly because, you know, they're big numbers on the report, and we're going to be rolling through these reports, hopefully, as I said, very quickly. And when we come to 20, you know, get 2020 done, FY20 done, then, you know, maybe take action within the current fiscal year. So,
yeah, right, correct.
Well, we're on the right track. That's all that counts.
Yeah.
That's what counts. Fiscally responsible, fiscally sound before it's over.
I got a couple of, can I speak on this?
Go ahead, trustee.
Okay, on page 2 of, I guess it would be the second page of the fiscal year ending, the second paragraph.
Yep.
It says where the village of University Park, hereafter referred to as village pursuant to Illinois state, is required. That's in there 2 times.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
And then on the back,
I apologize for that mistake. What page is that? Page 2?
Oh, that's okay. Page 2.
Yeah.
And then on the second, on page 3, it says, I think this has happened before. It says on the adoption of annual financial report, it said the corporate authorities of Bellwood again. I think we ran into this before.
Yeah, and I didn't.
What?
And let me have, you know, and I know Michael got this over the weekend, and I don't have it in front of you. the one document that was not in my packet, I got like a 350-page packet. The one document I don't have is the audit. Yeah. So the one document I don't have is the audit. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that if it does say that, we make sure it says University Park. That's just the one document. I know Michael did the ordinance, but the one document I don't have in here is the audit.
It's just the template you use.
Yeah, I think he just used the template.
You're
there.
right. You're right.
But I'll get that changed for you guys. I'll because I can go into the Dropbox and change that. I just have to find the actual Word document because of the way it prints out. What I do, and actually, thank you, Madam Clerk, for doing this, because if it doesn't print out when I try to do it as a whole, other than your packet. So unfortunately, the one item I don't have is the audit, but I'll make sure that template gets changed.
Oh, so yeah, okay.
Sorry,
so
Mr. Auditor.
Comment about the double wording, I'm not sure if that's actually in our report or not, but I'll double check that.
What page is that again, Trustee Bolden?
2.
Yeah, I'm trying to go into the Dropbox and see if I can find it, but I'll get that changed. If it's in the ordinance, I'll get it changed. If it's in the other report, I'll talk to the auditor to make sure.
Okay, it's the resolution. Okay.
Okay, yeah, then that's in the resolution. So.
Right.
Mayor, may I be recognized?
Go ahead, Trustee.
I have more of a statement. Three of us didn't get in here until May of 2017, but I'll say this for those, Mayor, I think you're probably the last one that was left. I'll say this much. In the transition, I would say that that board that was behind, despite what chaos that was there, we had a group of trustees. And as I look at the numbers, we are on the right track. And I did sit with that village manager, and it was our attorney at the time was Matt Welch of Montana and Welch. And I would say that the blueprint that board left for us, I said work. You begin to see the numbers as if you look inside, and actually trustees, I don't know if anyone, actually when I was reading here on page, was that on page 2? That might have been, if you look at the beginning, like even if you go to page 4, when the report starts talking about numbers and so forth, they're about right of what the last board was trying. Well, the board. So we're 2 boards since then. So it was the board. It was the board that Mayor Ruda is on. That board of that 2016 ending in 2017. Those gentlemen, they tried their best to put out a plan that I think if we continue to follow it, I think that we'll be almost there. And then actually considering that also the deficit, if you take a look, I'm on page 4, when it speaks about those numbers, I would say the financial highlights when it goes into talking about the fiscal year, and it speaks about the deficit. And if, and actually I'm just skimming down, and it talks about the increase of the revenues of $2 million and the expense reduction. All those numbers, I'll just say this much, trustees, is, you trust me with those numbers. I will say this, that we somewhat still see those numbers. And as long as we continue to see these consistencies, I would say that the village will be out of debt. And when I say out of debt, what I mean by that is that we're on the right path, and that in a year or 2, as far as money we spend out of general fund and so forth, we will never have to worry about trying to borrow, as it was explained. And that was the bad habit of past village managers. But if it was going to be money borrowed, it was supposed to be borrowed and put back. But one thing that we did is that we borrowed and we put back, but we also managed little by little, and Trustee McMullen can confer with that, you know, those late nights. Trustee Williams, you can confirm with that too. We done had some very, very late nights, and I'm gonna be honest, after that, I believe Trustees was at the almost the second meeting. I think we stayed in there till almost 1 in the morning. We were in there. So if we continue the right path, I think we'll be out. And so, you know, this is to Trustee Franklin, Trustee Sonia Jenkins Bell, Trustee Shirley Bolden. The mayor already knows. I always bring it up, but I think we're on the right path. And then today I sat with Cecilia, and then actually, like I said, Trustee Williams grabbed me by my hand. I was originally supposed to go in there last Friday with the mayor, per his request from the last board meeting, but Trustee Williams said, no, Theo, let's go. And we went in there, had very, very good insight of what we have and what we need to do. And I think we will, as long as we stay the course, and this message is for the public to let you know that as of right now, sometimes people are nervous. You have the right to be nervous, because based upon the numbers that we see in this report, anytime, you know, the trustees of the past did not know there was a deficit almost $39,000. They didn't.
No, not 39,000, buddy.
I'm sorry, 39.
I like that number. I like that number, but we gotta be real.
Yeah, 39 million. I'm sorry. The trustees of the previous board, they didn't know. They took a shock. And so what has happened since then is that we tried to make everything transparent. And I'm very happy to hear, and actually what I want the public to know is that these numbers that you're looking at right now is not of these board, but of the members of the board before that, of how they stopped what they were doing once they found out a situation, caught control of the village going broke, and fix it. And we stayed the course. And not only we stand the course, but we're trying to make sure that we all the way out of this debt. So, Mayor, I yield my time. I just wanted more of a statement that I think you and I pick with you all the time, Mayor, because it's many days my head was hurting when I come home from a board meeting. I needed an Excedrin. But
that's all.
But you know, you just said that was the yeah. Karen said that's all. But but my head was hurting, but I just want to say that you called it passing of the baton is politics. You guys did not try to hurt us. What you did was try to do a blueprint, and then as of now, we all are still trying to maintain that course. I may be kind of a jerk sometime about it, but you know, I'm just being a jerk because I don't want, you know, that's just my job about money, and Miss E could tell you that I think we even kidded about it today. You know, it's just about staying on the right course. So thank you so much. This audit kind of reflects, reading it initially, how the village got in trouble, and right before this moment, that it was 2 boards before this, that blueprint was able to grab control and stop the village from going into receivership. Mayor, I yield my time.
Okay. And anybody else have any questions of Mr. Hanley? Well, Mr. Hanley, since there are no more questions, I thank you for all the hard work that you've been doing. We've been done a phenomenal job since since the new administration has come in. You've helped us with 14, 15, 16, now 17. So we're on our way. We're pointed in the right direction, and we're going to be making wise business decisions moving forward.
Right. So I hope to be back in a month or two presenting 18 and 19, and we'll go from there.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Good deal. Okay. Have a good night, all.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. Do we need a motion, a roll call?
Nope, you had the motion. You just need a roll call, sir.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Wilson.
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Both sides.
Trustee Franklin.
Both sides.
Trustee Bolden.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Mayor Rudez.
Both sides. Continued
Mr.
progress.
Mr. Mayor, that's resolution R 2020-28.
Okay, doke. All right. Last but not least, attached to your approval is a listing of general operating expenses for the Village of University Park that occurred on August 18th, 2020 through September 22nd, 2020. General Fund, $398,455.57. Debt Service Fund, $106.25. Road and Bridge, $2,886.72. Town Center Fund, $13,064.21. Capital Projects Fund, $1,037,780, no cents. Tier 4, $1,000. Tier 5, Tier 6, $1,000. Payroll Fund, $2,810 with a grand total of $558,103.52. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Trustee Williams. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Franklin. Questions?
Question.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Just to ask, did all of you get the supporting document that goes with bills payable? It's close to 400 or 500 pages. That
510.
510 pages. That's a whole rainbow paper.
No, I didn't.
Last week. It was sent to everybody's box.
In the Dropbox.
It's been in the Dropbox.
Not only in the Dropbox, but email to you.
I think my Dropbox is booby trap.
I put it on me too.
Somebody snatch it.
I agree.
That's why I emailed them. So is your email's messed up too?
No, I got that right here.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we're keeping our word. And that is, you will get the supporting documents that goes with bills payable. I do not add it to the agenda because it's such a massive document. We will not be able to reproduce. That was it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Ma'am, I'll be recognized?
Trustee?
Yeah, I just, for a second, I'm going to be a jerk. Check page 2, 105. Oh, I'm sorry, page 3, 105, 767. Is this boom truck? I see it on. It says general funds, but is this the boom truck from the
Impact?
Yeah. That's what I'm confused about. It's a check for $101,000 and 101. Missy, you on mute. Yeah, Missy, you on mute.
Sorry, this should not have been general fund. This should have been the impact fee. So we got to make that correction. But on the invoice, it does say the impact fee. On the one that had to go express, we attached the actual bid information, the cost specification, and it did say TIF 7 impact fee. So it went on general fund, but it's coming from the impact fee.
Should it be taken off then, or is that?
No, it has to stay on here. You have to change general fund to it's TIF 7. It's an impact fee.
So your overall total amount will stay the same. It's just the account that it's coming from is different.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
Well, then I'll just ask this because I know some resident is going to ask me. Page 1, 105,656 and 105,657. The float and the DJ will come out of, I think you and I spoke about this, Ms. E. That will come out of another account for the back to school parade, correct?
Yes, yes it does. Yes, it is. Own account. Yes, it does.
And let's make it for the record that the mayor's special event committee cannot write the checks. It has to come out of the general fund and the money has to be switched. Am I right, Attorney Joseph Miller?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It'll get switched out of that. But as I was saying, the total amount will get paid, and then that's more of the accounting to make sure that it's done correctly, because your motion is to approve the amount. So, but you're correct.
Right. So I just wanted that for the record. Mrs. E, 105661. I just noticed this. Is this the auger for the
impact fee? Wait a minute, 105667?
661.
661. Hold on.
5,000. Yeah.
I got notes. Impact fees, public works. Yes. Yes. And it's with the bits as well.
Okay.
Impact fee. I got my notes on here. Yes, sir. It said bits.
Okay. And
Northern Tool, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And page 2, 105731 for Regal Farm, $3,100. I didn't charge that to clear the grass.
Now wait a minute.
Charge that.
Trustee, could I explain that for you?
Yes.
Let me tell you what this accounting system does.
My back was hurting, but that was a lot of money, Miss E.
Trustee, let me explain.
Excuse me, what was the check number?
105731.
No.
Oh yes.
Let me explain that to you.
Okay, I see it. I had it. I had extra back too.
Our accounting systems have all like entities within a class, and the accounting system will pick up one. It may not be that exact one, because the only thing we spent on the Regal Farm was $700 and some minimal dollars. I think it was $707.
Yeah.
But out of that, who said yes?
Me.
Okay.
So why?
Okay. So it picks up the computer. The computer, when you pay, it picks up whatever. It may pick up one, and it'll pick up the payment due out of that. But that's why we give you the backing. Go back and look at the backup. The backup lists them all under that category. And if you notice that the Regal Farm only has approximately $707.
Right. Okay, it said Menards, and I was like, I went to go get my.
But they all were purchased from Menards. That's Menards' bill. But it'll purchase the subject. It just pulled one out. But see, it didn't say anything about it pulling out rat poison. Excuse me, or you get what I'm trying to say.
Right. So
Menards is the vendor. The subject matter, they just because the way we got the bill, we had the bill outlined, so we'll know and keep our ledger sheets. That amount is from that on the letter sheet. So out of the $125,000 earmarked for Regal Farm, to date, only $700 and some has been expended.
Wow.
Well then, let me ask you this. Is check 105694 the same thing? Because they charge $8,000 to fix an air condition on unit 15-1. $8,000.
Okay. This
that's a lot of money.
Okay.
They can have the car for that price. They can have that car at that price. Matter of fact, they can borrow one of ours from Chevy.
Trustee, it wasn't just an air conditioner. It was rods, air conditioner. It was the whole 9 yards.
It was buying a new car.
But you go to each invoice back in it, it'll tell you exactly which car, police department, whatever the case may be. It outlines everything, and you got the backup. Just pull your back. It's there.
Now, that's on is that what was supposed to be hitting our Dropbox? Because I kept hitting it, and I didn't know if Madam Clerk or the attorney sent it. I kept hitting download, or it just wasn't coming.
I don't know if you can see this, but this all came out of the bills payable for the Dropbox. The email she sent. See this? It's over 500 pages. I got all of this. Now, the the printer I had jacked up, but eventually after about 3 hours, I got it all.
Okay.
And you can, if you check your email in your Dropbox, I sent it in 3 separate attachments.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
So
yeah, I got that. I got that one right here. Oh, wait, can't see. I got the computer right here. So, I got whiter. Oh, yeah. So this is the computer right here. So I don't know. It won't show, but I got whiter. See, I'm whiter. I got the computer right here. So I see this, but it didn't give the bill. So that's why I asked that.
Yeah, they're all they're all there. I downloaded mine.
Okay, I'm fine with it, man. I just wanted to double check and actually make something for the record as far as making sure it was all right. I have nothing else, man.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
I do. Can I be recognized?
Trustee, yes, sir.
Check 105722, Keith's Power Equipment Parts for 13.2. Can I have an explanation on that?
What is it? 10 what?
Keith's Power Equipment.
105722. Keith's
What's
Power
the check number?
Oh, that's for that's the 4 lawnmowers you approved tonight.
Got you. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
That's impact fee, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Same
sir.
scenario as before.
Same scenario. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Miss E, why did they put on the paper though, no rental? What was the purpose of putting that on there in that original? Was that just to let us know that it was not a rental, that we were purchasing it?
Right. The program that we have, and we're going to be updating that program, but the program we have only have them for rental, but they also sell new equipment. So since they were one of our vendors, we solicited a vendor estimate for them on that. So we just wanted to make you all know that this was not a rental fee. It was actually for acquisition.
Okay. I have nothing else, man.
Okay. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Williams.
Abstain.
Trustee Brooks. Trustee Brooks.
Muted.
Pass, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Votes aye.
Trustee Franklin.
Both aye.
Trustee Bolden.
Both aye.
Trustee McMullen.
Both aye.
Trustee Brooks. Trustee Brooks.
I abstain.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye to pay the bills.
Motion's approved.
All right, fantastic. Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Well.
Second.
No. Yeah, not yet.
There's not a report from the manager today. I've already been made aware of that one. Thank you. Any members of the board?
Okay.
Have any reports or anything they'd like to update the residents on? Madam Clerk?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, just like to report that early voting begins Thursday, September 24th for the November 3rd general election, and it runs through November 2nd, 2020. GSU will be an early voting site for University Park. You should check with the site to confirm their days and times because of COVID and staffing. Nothing is concrete. The Will County Clerk's Office is always an early voting site. They're located at 302 North Chicago Street in Joliet. You can also vote by mail. Most of University Park received a ballot a couple of months ago. So if you care to, you can complete your ballot for absentee mail-in voting, and you can drop it off in a secure box at Governor State University. I spoke with the county clerk. She assured me that they will have on-site secure people securing the ballot box.
That's wonderful.
Okay. What's my other thing? Got that. The consolidated election. I've had several questions about this. The consolidated election for next year will be held April 6, 2021. Nominating petitions can be circulated beginning today, September 22nd, 2020. And the filing period begins December 14th, 2020 through 5 p.m. December 20th, December 21st, 2020. Now, you can get information on your petition packets by contacting my office at 44. You can pick up the instructions at 44 Town Center Drive. You can also access this information on our village website, and a public notice will be in the Southtown on Sunday if they can't make it for today. Just a point that I would like everybody to remember who's picking up, who's filing, nominating petition packets. Remember that information provided from your clerk's office and the county clerk's office is informational only and not to be taken as legal advice. Therefore, I strongly suggest that if you plan to run for one of the three trustee seats, all full 4-year terms, that you contact an attorney before starting this process. It will save you a lot of stress and a lot of frustration. Also, today was National Voter Registration Day, and Crete-Montney High School, the principal, Trish, had opened up the high school specifically for voter registration. Our own Keely Childress, who is one of our deputy registrars from my office, was at Crete-Montney High School along with Deborah Stroud. Fortunately, they were able to register 4 teens that are turning 18 and will be voting. And as I end this, I would like to say, remember, your vote is your voice. So take it and a friend to the polls on November 3rd. Don't leave your vote. Don't leave your friends at home, because we are challenging. This is one of the most challenging presidential elections probably in our history. So all should vote. Vote your party, vote your conscience, just vote. Because as I always say, if you don't vote, don't complain.
Madam Clerk,
Yes.
can you explain or for the mail-in ballots how secure? Because I know that Trump talked about it, but that's one option that I think we're probably even doing. Just mail-in.
Yeah. As far as I know, to tell the truth, mail-in ballots have been going on ever since I can remember. It was called absentee voting. Prior to the last election, you had to have a reason to vote absentee. Now, There is no reason to not vote absentee, and especially in this age of COVID. As I said earlier, Will County Clerk assured me that if you don't want to mail your ballot in, there is a mailbox at Governor State University that will begin to be there on Thursday, that you can take. If you've got your ballot, you can take that ballot, put it in the self-addressed stamped envelope, seal it, and take it and drop it into the secured box at Governor State. They will be picking up those ballots on a daily basis.
Madam Clerk.
I was gonna say, is there a way that people can be assured that, say, I vote, Liz vote, Tutu vote, Franklin vote, that they all check off and that there's no possibility of voting twice, like Mr. 45 keep trying to say?
Trust me, all the years, even when we had early voting in my office, we never had double voting because everything's computerized. If you received your ballot, did not send it back in to the county clerk, they will know that the ballot went out. There's an affidavit that you must sign, and it automatically locks in the first vote that was received. I've watched the process, and it seemed very secure, very, very secure. Well, 45 votes absentee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Madam Clerk.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't the Governor State you be able to vote early voting in person right there at Governor State? You don't have to, fill out the thing to mail in. You can vote right then and there.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct. And early voting begins on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cast the ballot. Cast the ballot. Get out.
Okay.
I'll be recognized if are you still
Trustee
on?
Frank? Yeah, go ahead, Trustee Frank. Madam Clerk, you're finished, aren't you?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That was very awesome. I appreciate that information. I want to. Go ahead.
I just had one other thing I forgot, and that is 45 shortened the days for us to complete our census. So I would like if some of our YouTubers out there could post to all the people who have not filed their census to please do. It is so very important to us because only 67% of Illinoisans have filled out their census, and this affects our number of Congress people. It affects funds for our schools. So tell a friend, just like bringing them to the polls, tell them they have until the 30th.
Absolutely.
And even if they feel that they're non-documented, that won't affect them. This does not go to the immigration department. So please.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'm through.
Okay, sure. All right. I want to thank everyone who came out for the park rebuild project over this past weekend. And a fun fact about that project is that this actually the planning process started over a year and a half ago. Before I was even in office, me and my wife began the grant writing process for this project along with Ms. Keeley. And we was having meetings and everything. So I'm glad to actually see this coming to fruition. Thankful for all the volunteers that came out. We can always use more volunteers, but we're thankful for the ones that came out. I also would like to thank the Public Works Department because I do recognize that you're understaffed and stretch yourself thin sometime. And this was an extremely heavy load to put onto your plate. And you all did an awesome job. So I just want to recognize that we are thankful for the work that you did around that project. and also to piggyback on D. Jones as it relates to getting out and vote and making sure that we take advantage and don't make an excuse of why you won't vote this time. I think that's extremely important. And also, along with that, as there's an election season that's coming up in our community, be courageous enough to run. And I'm talking to the guys and girls in the neighborhood that's 20s and in their 30s, the younger generation. Yeah. Be courageous enough to get out here and run and put this village on your back, because in reality, you are the future of this community. And the advice that I would give to you is that you have to have thick skin in order to be in these positions, but it's worth all the stress that's put on you, because we need to keep and have good people in office. One thing that I've learned over this past year that I've been in office is that no matter what you do, there's going to be a group of people that say you do nothing. And once you learn how to maneuver, and once you learn how to stay focused, and once you learn how to, in the words of Obama, when they go low, you go high, and then you learn how to keep focused and keep tunnel vision on the goals and different things that you have. I would say in this first year, bringing 4 new police cars and additional ambulance and boom truck, dump truck for Parks and Recs, code enforcement vehicles, bringing Amazon, Sugar Shack, and the Alkaline Distribution Center, passing crime-free housing ordinance, appointing the first Black female chief of police in the county of Will, establishing a working relationship with Governor State University, repaving University Parkway, Christmas programs for the kids, University Park Railway crossing projects, summer jobs, Metro Station improvement projects. I mean, the list just goes on. The Regal Farm project, cleanup project, and providing meals and pop-up. I mean, there's so many things that has been done, but there's still a group of people that will say we have done nothing. So to my trustees and the mayor, I want to tell you guys to remain focused, stay positive, and let's continue to move the village forward. Those are my comments. God bless.
Hey, Trustee Franklin.
Amen.
I just want to add one thing to that, Trustee Franklin. And we just beginning.
Mayor, look,
yes.
Don't start with me. You see this gray? This started in 2017. Quit messing with me. I yield my time.
All right. Anybody else? If not, if no one else has any comments, does anybody else have any comments first of all? All right. I would like to invite all of the residents out to our town hall meeting this Saturday, September 26th. It will be a very informational system. One of the topics are aqua water and the state of the village. You'll be surprised on the progress that's been made since this new administration has taken in the office. And so it's where you can get the actual fact set. So please join us. And when we come after that town hall meeting, there will be an opportunity to register to vote also from Saturday, September 26th, from 1 o'clock to 3 p.m. They will be at the Sugar Shack at 30 Town Center Drive doing a voter registration drive. Yeah. So if you have someone that's not registered to vote, get them out there. It's very important. And on Sunday, September 27th, there's the Motown Music Car Show in our town center. And you can also register to vote there as well at between the hours of 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. also at the Sugar Shack. There's a lot of exciting, positive things going on in our village. Please come out and join us as we tread our way through the muddy waters and we're getting to clear land. We can see light at the end of the tunnel. If there are no more comments, I'd like to have a motion for adjournment.
Move.
Moved by Trustee Brooks. Second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
None. Oh, none. Okay.
Everybody have a fantastic evening. See you at the town hall meeting, people. Thank you. Good night.